am finally doing another vlog. We are at the Disneyland in Paris, and we have been staying at the Hotel Cheyenne, which we checked into on Friday, October 12th, and we'll be checking out tomorrow, October 14th, before we head down to Barcelona, Spain. So I want to show you a little bit of our room here at the Cheyenne, and maybe just talk a little bit about the resort and our trip as well, and things that we have encountered. This is our first time in France, period. So it's been a little bit of an experience, but I think overall a good experience. So let me start off with showing you the room. Okay, so we are staying in the Sitting Bull part of the hotel. There's multiple buildings here, but it's pretty easy to navigate. We're on the second floor. There is a little sitting area down there when you first walk in. No elevators, so be prepared to haul your luggage up the steps. But we have an easy room to find. We are room 1761. As soon as you come up the stairs. All right, come on in. All right, so first we'll start with just walking in. Lots of area to put luggage or hang up your clothes. Nice little bench there with the security box, and of course you can put shoes or luggage underneath. Okay, I will show you as soon as you pull your card out. If you wait a few minutes, this is what's going to happen. And now, oh, there it goes. Yeah. So make sure that you always keep your card in, or your lights will just automatically turn off. Okay, so let's go into the bathroom. Okay, so blow dryer. And if you need to shave, just lift that up. And you can plug it right in. They did supply us with Kleenex, and we had hand soap, 4 cups. They've been giving us 4 towels. There's just the 2 of us. We've had plenty of toilet paper. Please know, if you've never come to Europe, we always buy disposable washcloths because they do not use washcloths in Europe. So we found that out the first time that we went to London. So I would highly advise buying either the disposable washcloths or getting some kind of a bath mitt or a loofah, something, because there are no washcloths here. They also supply body wash, which smells really good. And they also supply shampoo and conditioner as well. And I have to show you this shower. because it looks like wood. The theming of this room is great. As you can see, it's got the horseshoes there. It looks like wood, but I think it's just some kind of a tile. But what I like about this resort is that they really tried to theme it to look just like the Wild West. But inside it has a Toy Story theme. So if you or your kids are Toy Story fans or cowboy fans, Wild West fans, this is a great hotel for you. Okay, so we'll head on out back here. It's like a little desk that they have here, but there's no chair, but we've just kind of been using it as a storage area. There's plenty of plugs all around. Of course, being from the States, we had to bring a converter. And there's also some more down here as well. Okay, they provided us with more cups. There's plenty of cups. Okay, place to, well, hat rack. And we'll just continue going over here. Here's something that I really liked. All the coffee. Even though it was all too strong. Hubby, what did you think about the coffee?
Too strong.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. But decent sized TV. Not a whole lot of channels. Yeah, and hubby complains that the channels are in French. What? Go figure. Okay, and then of course, your coffee maker, more cups for espresso. You could probably use this for coffee, for hot tea, maybe even put ice in, or maybe not. Yeah. But again, one thing I love about this room is look at the theming. Look how cute that is. Okay, and over here as well with the mirror. Okay, they've got a cute little bench. It's not like the most comfiest of benches, but hey, you're not going to sleep on it. So, but it works perfectly for just sitting down and, you know, resting, taking your shoes on and off. Let me show you the drawers. We didn't even use the drawers. If you could see from this bed, since we're doing lots of moving on this trip, we just kept our bags open. But these are decent sized drawers, not super deep, but oh, extra pillow. So we've had lots of extra pillows in this room then. One thing they don't have in these rooms, okay, so 2 extra pillows. That's a lot of extra pillows. But one thing they don't have in these rooms that I think we're used to in the States is a microwave and definitely a refrigerator. The refrigerator is one thing that we missed. So just be aware it's not in the rooms. But they do have an ice machine and a Brita water fountain right downstairs. I also wanted to show you when you check in, they will give you the Cheyenne Gazette, which tells you all about the hotel. They do have character meet and greets here. I know when we checked in on Friday, both Jesse and Woody were in the reception area. They do have a general store here. It's really just kind of like a a really small Disney store. Not a whole lot of supplies. There is like some chips and candy bars, candy, but not like general supplies. More of a Disney gift shop. They do also have a Starbucks, thank goodness, that stays open until 11 p.m. So, and it's a really nice Starbucks. They have little sandwiches and some really good donuts and muffins and all kinds of really good stuff in there. They do also have, oh, there it talks about Starbucks. They do also have a saloon here that of course serves alcohol, but also does have like some finger foods, pizza mostly. We didn't try that out, but they do also have a breakfast buffet and a dinner buffet at the Chuck Wagon. We didn't go there as well. We were too busy like eating in the parks. There it is, the Chuck Wagon Cafe. But this, again, the Cheyenne Gazette will tell you all that you need to know about the hotel. Let me put this down. So it will give you the hotel map. As you can see, this resort is pretty long or pretty large. This is all the buildings that they have. So like I said before, all the buildings have their own separate name. This is the reception, so you'll go in here. They'll give you this Cheyenne Gazette. They will give you your key to your room and then also physical tickets to the parks as well. There is laundry on the facility. We used that last night. And yeah, and please know that if you do want to do laundry, you just need to go to the general store and ask for tokens, and they will give those to you. You have to buy them. Do you remember how much they were?
It was
$7 for a load. Okay, so $7 for one load. And they did give us the soap because hubby said that we wouldn't need any.
I was wishing.
Okay, so just kind of continuing on. Again, the theming is amazing in this room. The curtains, everything up to even the hangers for the drapes. Okay, but the wallpaper I think is the best. And we've got a bullseye and a Woody and Jessie picture. And then, of course, the cute little lamps. These lamps turn on separately. So all you gotta do is just walk up to them. There's just a little switch underneath and you can turn them on and off that way. Each bed also has just a nightstand next to it. Of course, we had plenty of pillows. It's just the two of us on this trip. How do you think the beds were, Dad?
Very nice.
Very nice. They're a little firm, but I don't think they're so firm that they cause back pain. As I've said before in other vlogs, my back isn't so good. But my back has not hurt, so I think we've slept pretty well. Of course, we have phone and more plugins. And this is just something that they put at the end of the beds, and I just moved both of them over here. Okay, now one thing we've had issues with is this, the thermostat. We've been cold, so we've been trying to turn it all the way up. Like, we just came in, we spent the day exploring around Paris, and we keep turning it up to 22, which is the highest that it will go, but it just automatically turns itself back down to 19, no matter what we do. So I don't know if I think we're just here during, as it's starting to get cold. So for us, it's been a little bit of a cold trip. But overall, we've had a good time. Okay. Oh gosh. All right. So I wanted to just kind of give you guys an idea of what we thought about this resort. We're a little bit tired, so maybe we're a little slap happy. We have been roaming literally all around Paris all day today. We've been in the parks as soon as we got here. On Friday, we dropped our bags. They do have a luggage service here, so as soon as you come in, if your room's not ready, you can drop your bags at the luggage room, and they will keep those for you. They do not take them to your room, so they'll just give you a ticket, and you'll have to come back and get those. But our room didn't take very long for it to be ready. I think it was promised by 3, and I think that's when it was done. It wasn't much longer after 3 that it was ready. So what do you think about this resort?
It's very nice. A lot of details. They even went to the detail of squeaky steps.
Yeah.
And they did it on purpose, they say.
Yeah.
To make it feel more
like the wild an old
West. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one thing they did too is, in the Disney hotels back in the States, they usually have some kind of a smell to them. I think this one kind of smells like an old
pine wood.
Yeah. I don't really know what that smell is, but yeah, but it's not a bad smell. It's just something different that you wouldn't typically, maybe expect in a Disney hotel. But I think it's just part of the theming. So
transportation is okay.
Yeah, you have 2 options. You can either walk to the parks from here, which is maybe like a 10-minute walk.
Right.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it's a little cold. It's been cold here. That's one thing that we found is where we're from. We thought when I was planning this trip, we were planning it, we were looking at the weather, and we would see that the temperature was like in the low 60s. Well, to us, we thought, okay, that would be perfectly fine. That's acceptable park weather. But apparently not in Paris in October. So it's literally, I think, even though it's been 50s and 60s, it's felt probably a good 10 degrees cooler, I would say. So this is the first time that I have been to parks in like jeans and thick socks and thick sweatshirts, and I was still cold. So just be aware, maybe if you're coming to Disney Paris and this time of year, definitely bring a jacket and some sweaters, maybe even some gloves or a hat. We were not quite prepared for that. But you could also take buses. They have buses just like they do at Disneyland and Disney World. Here you just walk to, it's a little bit different. You walk to the bus stop here on property. And once you get on the bus, it takes you to kind of like a
transportation hub.
A transportation hub. It kind of reminds me of if you've been to Disney Springs. When you are getting to or leaving Disney Springs, like how you go to your bus, like you find your bus number that goes along with your resort. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's not big because there's not very many resorts here. There's only there's Disneyland Resort, there's the New York, there's Newport Bay, there's Cheyenne, Santa Fe, and Sequoia, if I didn't say that, and then Davy Crockett, I think. So there's not a lot of resorts. I think, I mean, even though this is our very first time here, but I really like this one and I would come back again. But anyway, as far as like the transportation, so you just take the bus that's here over to kind of like the bus hub, and then you just walk right into they kind of have like Disney Village that's off to the side, and then you go in through security, and then it's basically like Disneyland in California. You can either go to Disneyland, or the second park that they have here is Disney Studios. So Disney Studios is small, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Easy to navigate.
Yeah, it's a very to easy navigate park. It's the one, if you're up on Disney World News, it is the park that they are building Arendelle in. That is supposed to open sometime next year. So we kind of got a little bit of a sneak peek over the fence, and it looks pretty amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that we're going to have to come back for that. But it was really nice, actually, even though it's a small park. It was nice to not have to like hurry up and rush to things. Like we could just take our time. And we actually, you know, we did that park, and then we ended up spending the rest of the day in Disney Springs. Well, their equivalent of Disney Springs. It's called Disney Village here. It's a lot smaller. It kind of reminds me of Disney in California, where it's not quite as big.
Small.
Yeah, it's small. It's a lot smaller. Definitely not Disney Springs in Orlando. But it still has, you know, quite a few, you know, Disney shops. It was good. You know, it wasn't so overwhelming. Like I said, it was nice to be able to do, you know, Disney Studios and then come out and do Disney Village as well. Yes.
A lot of construction. Lots
of construction. Yeah, they are building it up. You know, I can tell that they're, you know, trying to, I think, add on, you know, to this area. I feel like a lot of people have kind of caught on. I don't know if this is, you know, being silly, but I feel like recently there's just been like a lot of vloggers that have been coming over and they've been vlogging it, and I feel like they're just kind of like getting the word out that, okay, hey, this place is pretty amazing. And so I feel like it's just getting a lot more attention. And so maybe they're just, you know, starting to build it up. Because when we went to Disney World yesterday, or Disneyland, what did you think about Disneyland?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as we were walking down Main Street, we were like, what is happening? That park is really, Main Street was, there was so much detail to it. I mean, it was just, it's decorated, you know, for fall, for Halloween, but there was just detail. I mean, there was just stuff everywhere.
Colors.
Lots of colors, yeah. So it is like the park itself for Disneyland is a lot like California, where things are much closer together. You can easily walk from one attraction to the next. There's not a lot of walking in between each ride. But I will say, like Big Thunder Mountain, or what do you think about Big Thunder?
Extreme.
Wow. Wow. It was amazing. Yeah. And then their nighttime show,
Out of this world.
let's just say drones. They use drones. If I can, I'm going to try to. I did record the whole entire show, although my hands were shaking because I was so cold. So I kept turning it off, but I might try to just kind of put it all together later and add it in because it's pretty spectacular.
Drones, lasers,
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
all of it all together.
Yeah, it was nice. So I think this is just kind of going back to the hotel itself. I think this is a really great hotel, for, I really think anybody. I mean, we're just here by ourselves. And I feel like it's a family-friendly hotel. There's definitely stuff that is, geared towards the kids. Supposedly they do also have pony rides. We didn't see them, but I think maybe it was just because we were in the parks, out doing things and we didn't see them. But it's, I think probably considered to be like a moderate? Is this like a moderate resort?
It's a value, I believe.
Or maybe it is a value. But I mean, I think it's definitely worth every penny that you pay for it. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're looking for a place to stay, I would definitely consider the Hotel Cheyenne. Like I said, I would come back and stay again. The only other place I would really like to stay is the Disneyland Hotel, because that literally sits right at the gates to the Disneyland park. But yeah, I highly recommend this room. I did also want to talk about getting here. So I always try to research, like when I know that we're getting ready to do a trip, I research as much as possible, especially if it's someplace that we haven't been before. So one of the things that I was worried about was getting here from the airport. So like I said, we flew in we left the States on Thursday, October 9th. We got here around like 7:30?
Yep.
7:30 in the morning on October 10th. We had a great flight with Delta, and we got through security pretty quickly, pretty easily, got our bags really quick. They actually were just, as we left security, our bags were coming out. So we didn't have any problems there. But we ended up taking the bullet train.
High-speed train, yeah.
The high-speed train from Charles de Gaulle over to Disneyland. And that was a bit of a challenge. So I thought that it was going to be a little bit easier because a lot of the other vloggers that I had watched said, hey, you just got to look for the signs. So you basically have to like kind of go downstairs, right? Like,
yes.
After we got our bags, like we had to like we went downstairs to the train station? Mm-hmm. Is that how it went?
Yes.
But it's very confusing. And I think we're still confused of we knew where we needed to go. What is it, like the A line on the Chessie Marne Valley or something. I know I probably butchered that. So we kind of knew where we needed to go. We knew it was like the very last stop on this train, and we knew it wasn't far. But it was just very difficult to figure out like which train line we needed, because I think there was like four different trains on each side of the station. And so that's what made it so confusing. But once we finally ended up just going to one of the like kiosk, I guess it was, and we purchased our tickets there. We did ask maybe like 3 people with the train station for help. 2 of them were kind of helpful. One was not. One was what we would call in the States a Karen. She was pretty rude. And basically her suggestion was, well, just press the button for English. Yeah. Okay, so, but we did get the tickets. For 2 of us, it was, how much? Was it like $50?
No, it's $25.
Oh, it was $25. Okay, so it was $25 for both of us. And so once we have the tickets, then the next confusing thing is you have to watch the boards to figure out which train you're on. So we figured out on the train ticket that I think our train was like 5409 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had to watch the board, and you like stand at the gate, and we had to watch for that number, and then to the right of that, it would come up and say which platform it was.
Yes.
Okay, and so once it said the platform, then we could go through the gates. And then they scanned our tickets, and we had to go down. But then we had purchased first class, so we had to go to the very front. We didn't have, they didn't give us the option, I don't think, to buy like what seat number we wanted. So when we went on, we just sat down, and then there was a gentleman who had already purchased those particular seats. So we just had to get up and move. Once we were on the train, though, it was really comfortable, and it did only take, 10 minutes? Yeah.
155 miles an hour.
Yeah, so we got here quick. And basically, once you make it to the train station, all you have to do is step right out, and basically right in front of you is Disney Village. So, what we did is, like, you have the option, if you go right, you can go into Disney Village, or you could even go into the parks. But if you go to the left, that will take you to like the transportation hub. And that's what we did. We just ended up going to the Hotel Cheyenne bus stop, and we got on there, and then they just drove us to the resort, which the drive is only like not even 5 minutes. It's super, super close. So, you may just want to, if you know that you're coming, maybe just try to know exactly, do some research on the train line. That's one thing that I think that we would definitely have to research a little bit more. This morning, we went down, or we decided that we were just going to spend the whole day in Paris. And so getting there was easy, I thought. We just went right back into the same train station. We bought tickets to, do you remember what train or what station it was?
Elot station at the Arch de Triomphe.
Yeah. So it ended up taking us literally to basically like the base of the Arc de Triomphe. And it was a straight shot. Like we just got on, and it was like
stops.
It was like the train station was like Etiole or something. We do not speak French. I wish we did. That would have been helpful, especially today. But it took us right there. And so we basically walked right out of the train station, and we were right at the Arc de Triomphe, which was amazing. At that point, we were also able to get the hop on, hop off bus tickets. I thought those were a little bit pricey.
Yeah. It
was $49
a piece, yeah,
for both of us. And I think that's the most that we've ever paid for hop on, hop off tickets. But I mean, we got to see a lot, but I just thought that was a little bit pricey. But we ended up using the hop on, hop off. And we were able to go to the Eiffel Tower, which was like astonishing. Let's see, we went to the Louvre, we went to Notre Dame, we went to the Lafayette Galleries, had some good food there. So we did end up getting a little bit lost on the train station again, but this was the local trains. It wasn't the high-speed train this time, just the local fringe trains. And what happened is we thought that the hop on hop off bus was going to drop us back off at stop number 5 for the Arc de Triomphe where we started, but they let us know when we got back on at the Lafayette Galleries that they were only going to do one more stop and they were done. So that was a little bit of an issue because he read that the buses were stopping at 5:30. When he asked, he was told 7, and he even texted them when we were at our last stop and they said 7:30. But when we got on the bus at like 6:30, they said that was it, they were done. So they took us back to stop 1, but we still had 4 more stops that we needed to get back to get to the Arc de Triomphe to get right back on the A line. It's the A line train that you want that will take you from Disney to Paris and back. So what we ended up trying to do is that we got to another train station. Fortunately, there was a train station that was right across from the hop on hop off bus. The issue is that you could not get to the A line train from that bus or from that train station. So hence that just started what was that?
A Lego effect, dominoes.
Yeah. And it was kind of difficult. Like, we have been to London twice. I felt like we navigated the tube pretty well, but we struggled with that train station because it was like you would go down one tunnel and then that tunnel would split off to 2 tunnels and then that tunnel would go off to like 2 others, and it was very confusing. We again asked 2 of the train workers for some assistance. I mean, they helped. But I mean, I understand when there's a language barrier, it is a little bit more difficult. And so, maybe they helped the best that we did or that they could. And, like, I always just try to be polite. That's my thing. I always just try to make sure that I say please and thank you in their language with a smile, but
I've noticed here that a lot of the sign around here doesn't have a lot of English on it, like in some of the other countries we've been to. Like when we went to Spain, it had the Spanish and then English right underneath of it. Here it's just French. That's it. Nothing else. It's kind of hard.
Yeah. We were using City Mapper, and that did help out, a little bit. If you don't have that app, that is something that's really helpful. So, and we have used the Google Lens, right? We've used that a few times. So, there's lots of ways nowadays that I think that can be helpful with, translation and so forth. But we just, I don't even think it was even just a language barrier thing. It was just like I don't know, we just couldn't get the train. It just kind of totally threw us all off.
The signing in the train station is awful.
Yeah.
There's missing signs, arrows pointing up and down sideways. It's just bad signing.
Yeah, and then we got on the A line and we're like, okay, thank goodness. And then we were 3 or 4 stops away from Disneyland, and they were like, this is the end of this train line. And then they just turned the lights off and that was it. So we had to get out and wait on the platform for a few moments until the next train came and got us and took us the rest of the way down the line. So I don't know. It was, I don't know if it was just us or if it's just confusing. I don't know. But just be aware, if you are heading over, maybe try to do some research or something before you go. We definitely would like to come back to France again, right?
Very nice.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, France is, and of course we haven't seen all of France. We know that Paris is not France. But, what we were able to see, it's exactly what I thought that it would be. I mean, the architecture is mind-blowing. It's a beautiful city, great food.
Yes.
Great food. Yes. And like we said, Disney is it's a great park. I mean we watched quite a few vloggers before we headed over, and I know there was a few of them that said that the food was no good. The only food that I think that we ate that we didn't like was the carrot cake and the cable car.
Yeah,
We didn't. It was not carrot cake. We didn't care for that. But everything else that we ate, the Mickey beignets,
Good.
yeah, those are good. What else did we get?
Chocolate croissants.
The chocolate croissants, the pain chocolats, I think those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Coffee.
Oh,
So good.
okay. Yeah. If you're a coffee drinker, so in Disneyland, the only place that you can get a cold brew coffee is Victoria's, and it's pretty small. It's good. I mean, you can get, of course, if you're staying here, there's Starbucks. There are Starbucks around. There's a Pret that's in Disney Village. So there is some places that you can get cold brew if you're a cold brew drinker. Of course, Starbucks has frappes, but
Cappuccinos. Not American cappuccinos.
yeah, I was expecting chocolate. I feel like in the States, our cappuccinos are a little, chocolatey, not here. The coffee that they left us here is very strong. Very strong. And when I would order it in restaurants, even though it was hot, which was welcoming since we were so cold, but it's very strong. So I had to add a lot of cream and or sugar to it. So, and I get that's probably just the way that they like it here, and that's fine. It's something different. But yeah, it was a little strong for us.
I miss my Dunkin'.
Yeah, we're Dunkin' drinkers. So tomorrow, we're heading off to Spain. So we have a 12:55 flight out of Charles de Gaulle, again, going down to Barcelona. So fortunately, we have been to Barcelona before, and the hotel we've actually stayed at before. I have vlogged that before. We stayed there in April. I think it was April of 24. And it was a great hotel. And the wonderful thing about it is that it sits right beside a Dunkin'. Yes, so I will have a frozen coffee in my hand tomorrow. Yeah. We are missing Dunkin'. But overall, I think that our trip to Disneyland Paris for the first time was definitely...
Thumbs up.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back. I would highly suggest coming. And we would definitely come back to France again. There's so much more that we would like to do as well. We got to go to the Louvre today, but we'd actually like to go inside and see the Mona Lisa. But from what we heard, it was you could stay all day at the Mona Lisa or just going around the Louvre. So we wanted to make sure that we got to other places.
And we wanted to go into the Notre Dame too, but they do have free access, but the line was so long.
Yeah. So, there's things that I'm glad that we got to see and do everything that we did today. But next time I would like to be able to, go in. And there is some places that I would like to go outside of Paris. I would love to go to Palace of Versailles. There's what's the other? Is it St. Michael's or something? But we definitely would plan on, coming back to France again. I think if we did that again, what we would do is we would probably just stay in Disney, like just stay in Hotel Cheyenne again for maybe like 3 days, and then just transfer over to a hotel in Paris. So maybe that way we wouldn't have to worry so much about the buses, the trains. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully if you are thinking about coming to France, coming to Disneyland Paris, staying at the Hotel Cheyenne, then maybe that helped you out. We say, come on over. Life is short, so, why not? It's a great place to be. So hopefully that vlog helped you out a little bit, and I'm gonna try. I definitely plan on doing some vlogging over the next few days. I probably won't vlog our hotel room. I don't know, maybe, but I vlogged it last year, so I don't know if I will vlog the hotel room in Barcelona. But we're just staying in Barcelona for basically, like a day and a half or so. We get there tomorrow around 3, and then on the 15th we're there all day, and then on the 16th we're actually we're going to board the Carnival Mardi Gras, and we're doing a 14-day transatlantic cruise back to Port Canaveral in Florida. So we have a few stops. Once we get on the Mardi Gras, we'll be stopping, I think we've got 2 ports in Spain, and then we have one in the Canary Islands, and then we're going to Celebration Key as well over in the Bahamas before getting back to Port Canaveral on October 30th. So I'm going to try to at least do a little bit of vlogging, but hopefully this video helped you out, and hope you liked it. So if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna keep trying to make some more vlogs. So I'll hopefully see you guys and talk to you again soon. Bye.